and we had a whole bunch of rain yesterday afternoon. So, and we're supposed to get a whole bunch more tonight. So starting at 12 noon today, actually. So things are really growing. This time of year, the garden gets to looking so straggly. So about all I can do is make plans on what to do. This hollyhock is growing really good. I've been working so hard trying to get some hollyhocks growing here. I think since it's been raining so much, I'm just going to go ahead and take this area out because it's too full of weeds and grass. And I might just take the whole flower bed clear up to that first step right here and the bird bath step and just move all this stuff back. This here, I'm always constantly amazed by that I didn't plant this here. This is a bunny rabbit's ears. It's got really soft leaves, and it's like such a light gray that it stands out with. And what I'd like to do with it is dig it up and move it all along here for a border between the driveway and the flower bed. And but I didn't plant it here. It grew here all of its own, and I don't know whether it was from bits and pieces of it from stones I was moving around or what, but I know I used to have it up there in the flower bed right by the house underneath of that window years ago, and it just got to growing so much that I didn't even worry about it. And I don't know what I did, but I eventually didn't have any. And so I'm going to move it around in the spring, take extra good care of it so I don't kill it off this time. These hollyhocks should bloom this year. They are biennials, and so they bloom. They grow one year, bloom the next year, go to seed, and die back. But they drop so many seeds that lots of times when you have patches of them, it looks like they are perennials. These are some Nanking bush cherries here. I planted them from Gurney's a few years back, and I got them from, but I got all these daylilies planted around them, so they're just kind of struggling to get by. Those are tiger lilies right there. I'm going to dig those up and take them out back. I'm going to start getting rid of some of the taller stuff out here. And these hot lilies, irises, these irises here are not doing very good. They haven't been blooming, and I'm thinking maybe I planted them too deep or something. But those are going to come out and get moved. And this here, hibiscus, I thought was dead, has come back. And all of my hardy glads are falling over. And I don't like to stake up plants. So I think I'm going to leave them out here, but maybe next year they won't fall over. I don't know. There's more of them over here. You got more getting ready to bloom. I think this rain is just doing everybody good. I got goutweed here in the flower bed, I think. I think it came from these Solomon seal that I planted here. I think the flower bed where I dug this Solomon seal up had goutweed in it. So I've been constantly pulling it up. And there's another one right there. And this here is a trumpet vine. I don't know how I got it in there, but I've been digging it up and planting it. Digging it up, and as soon as it comes back, here's a mystery lily that keeps coming back. I think I've put those everywhere around the yard. These hibiscus here are going to be blooming here pretty soon. And one of the things I need to do is come out and cut back these resurrection lilies that are done blooming. Deadhead them. Look at all these daisies that are blooming. I have to look this up. I forgot what it was. It's been growing here a few years too, and I got it from Brex. But I'll look it up and see what it is. Here's what happens when you don't deadhead your lilies back. They start making seeds like this. And this hibiscus up here, some of these flowers are done and need to be cut back. It drops these spent blooms all over the place. I think tomorrow I'm going to start my moving around a bunch of plants for fall. I've not had much luck moving around plants in the fall, but I'm going to start trying. Should have a lot of poppies next year. Look at all of them. Next year, my goal is going to be try to get this whole thing filled with portulaca, moss roses. And look at all this, look at all this loose strife that we're going to have next, all these new starts. This is a damn weed right here. Elatrius is blooming. It will go all the way down there. And this trumpet vine here, I planted it on purpose. I think I can keep it contained over here, because I know it grows underground and comes up all over the place, but out here in the driveway we should be okay. I don't think it can spread that far. If it does, I'll just have to start pulling it up over here, I guess. And this honeysuckle, it's not much of a threat, I don't think. I remember one year, a few years back, I had wisteria, and I couldn't never get rid of it. This honeysuckle is blooming again. I thought it was done for the year, but a lot of times all this rain, and these are berries from where it bloomed before. And this is all catmint over here. Looks like this hibiscus is going to be blooming for quite a while longer. I need to come out and deadhead all of these resurrection lilies. So that's the first thing I'm going to start doing tomorrow is moving plants and deadheading. This is plumbago back up here against the house. That is a really nice little ground cover that's been slowly taken over this area here. And I really like nice little blue flowers this time of year when not much else is blooming. This is that loose strife, and I've moved it all over the place in the garden too. But this time of the year, it gets to looking so raggedy that a lot of times I just cut it down. And this is where I'm going to fill this area in. I've got a Lenten rose growing back there, and a big, huge coral bells over here. So I'm going to dig up this lily that keeps falling over. Needs to be deadheaded too. And It would be nice to have some mulch to put in this flower bed. I'm just going to go ahead and pull up these daylilies. I've got too many of them. I don't know what that is, but I don't think I want it. These irises here, I'm going to move them. They blew really nice for a couple of years, but they don't look like they've multiplied that much. But I'm going to dig them up and move them. I made an iris bed out back, and if you didn't see that video, it's on how to dig up and divide irises, bearded irises. Here is this coral bells. I want to move up there. I don't know if I can do it while it's blooming or not. This is a hosta getting ready to bloom. Look at that. This lily needs to be deadheaded. This here is a chocolate vine that started growing up in this bush. This here is I think it's a bush cherry. It got really white blooms in the summer. It's really good. I'm going to get this bench out of here and this swing frame. And I've already started cutting out some of the chocolate vine. And when the chocolate vine bloomed, it was never that great. So I don't think it's worth taking up any space. So I'm going to get rid of it. And that honeysuckle bush there, I think it's huge. I'm going to cut it down in the wintertime or the fall when nothing is growing and get rid of it. And this huge here. And all these raspberries and everything in here. I'm going to get rid of that and make it a flower bed. So you can see, stand at that end down there and see all the way down here. And I think that'd be really neat if I had like a whole bunch of tulips in the spring or hardy lilies in the middle of the year, and you can stand down there and see them all. So I'm going to open up this whole area for a flower bed for the tall stuff. So I'm going to put all the tall stuff that's out front out here. And I'm going to keep this black raspberry bed here. I need to come out and prune it for the year. Cut out the dead canes and cut down the next year's canes like this one here. You can tell it's going to be next year's fruiting cane because it's bright green. And this is ones I need to cut back and remove because they're last year's. And these are zinnias. And I grew these zinnias from seed I collected last year. Well, look at how the cucumbers have grown just since the last time. This is a noxious weed I don't want. This is lamb's quarters. Don't want it. And this is just grass. So is that one. So yeah, I need to come out here tomorrow also when weed. I'm not really dressed for that now. These are cosmos that volunteered from where they were growing last year. I can't believe how things grow so much after a rain. I think these are 4 o'clocks. I planted from seed this year. It's supposed to rain again today, like all afternoon. So I should have a lot of work weeding tomorrow. This is the new herb garden I started this year, and in the future, I'm not going to grow the kind of herbs that you sometimes see in an herb garden, like lavender. But rather than lavender and things like that, it's only going to be things you eat, like rosemary and sage and seasonings like that. This forget-me-not that volunteer here, it'll be nice, but I won't be planting it here. I'll just let it grow on its own. I might take some out front next year. That'd be kind of nice to have out front. And the cosmos, I might put those out front too, and hopefully they'll volunteer all over the place out there. Look at all this. All these just from where they were growing last year. So they're not perennials, but they reseed themselves so freely that it's almost like they were perennials. And the zinnias, I planted those here in a row here, but I didn't do a very good job because they're very spotty, but it was so dry this spring. Here's another one here. It was so dry this spring. A lot of the stuff didn't come up, so I need to maybe rethink. Here's some chives. Rethink some of the way I'm starting my seeds. Morning glory is coming up everywhere. This is morning glory right there. If you let it, it'll just cover everything else in your garden. These are blueberries. And these were all the strawberries I planted this year. They go clear back there under the cosmos. This is basil right here. This is hot peppers there. And here's all the irises that I just moved up here. Looks like somebody come along and dug them up. Wonder what animal did that for me and ate them. Who eats irises? That's a good question. Who eats irises? Look at that. Somebody come along and dug these up and ate them. That one there the most. Huh. I'll have to look that up. Probably some damn squirrel. I don't have much of... I never heard of that. Dug up my irises and ate them. And I forgot all these names. That's 4 o'clocks there. And I forgot these 2 names here. So I'll have to look those up. This is, I'm just getting the grass out of here. These, I planted seed here last year. And they've come back. I've been keeping them weeding and watered this year, which I need to do. Isn't that funny how the weeds grow so much faster than the plants? And these tomatoes is just going crazy over here. I wish they'd start getting ripe. I already had one this year. And my peppers, I've been eating those. They're just a pepper plant I bought at Walmart or Menards, I don't know which. And this is Lily of the Valley. I can remember the name today. And this is Solomon Seal. I guess if I have to look up the name often enough, I can start to remember. My goal is to get this whole area here filled in with these shady plants like Lily of the Valley and Solomon Seal. Lily of the Valley has a really good smell to it. And here's my compost tumbler. I've been trying it out, and I'm not sure that I'm getting the right quantity of stuff in here. This is my grandson mowed the grass yesterday, so I need to spread this underneath the plants somewhere. Yeah, I might put some cherry tomatoes in here this year, besides cucumbers and tomatoes. I'll probably plant a lot of vegetables in here. I'm thinking that in the future I'm going to have, yeah, this is asparagus over here. I'm going to have, instead of having a regular row of tomatoes like in a garden, I'll have them scattered all over the place in different places in the garden. So, I guess that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye.